serving other people? The person that's in front of you, how do you show up to the waitress? How do you show up to the person driving next to you that instead of yelling at them, show some compassion, like just seeing if you can be in your heart and serve from your heart those that are actually in front of you versus thinking about how do I serve someone that's 3,000 miles away from me and I don't even know how. Like that makes you feel like you aren't in control, that you have no impact. And the truth is you do. You turning up the light within yourself, you turning and giving that light to someone that's in your sphere of influence is the act of love. That is your responsibility. That is your assignment. Welcome to the Diary series with Danette May. These are the conversations I typically have with myself, shared with you so you feel less alone in yours. This series is for anyone navigating change, awakening, or simply trying to make sense of the world you live in. Trust me, you belong here. Let's get started. Hey, my loves, we are celebrating season 3 of the Danette May Show. I am so happy that we've been doing this journey for this long, that we now just dropped season 3 with epic guests, epic content. Like we're going there. And to celebrate, we want to do a giveaway. What we're going to do is give one of you lucky winners a $150 Visa gift card. All you have to do to enter in is one, follow the podcast. So what you'll do is you'll click the plus button if you're following on Apple Podcasts, and you'll click the follow if you're following on Spotify, and then share one of your favorite episodes and tag me at the Danette May. We are going to announce a winner on February 23rd. Yes, we'll tag you. We'll announce it. I can't wait to gift you guys $150 in a Visa gift card. You deserve it. Good morning, my loves. Wow, day 2. Chatting together. I'm actually sitting in my living room with the fireplace on. The sun has just come up. My daughter has left for school. The house is finally quiet. It's just me and Ollie. I already got up really early this morning and did my meditation. I'm going to do another one though, because it was a jingity meditation. When I say jingity, I mean it just wasn't very deep. It wasn't very relaxed. I woke up like in a shuffle. I don't know if you have those weird nights where you wake up and you're like, I just feel super off. I feel like my brain was on all night long with chatter and ruminating, and you don't really even remember everything it was ruminating about, but you kind of like pick up fine pieces of it, but you feel like a little unsettled. Well, that was me this morning. And so of course my meditation was a little funky. Now that I've journaled, now that I've read, now that I've kind of woken up and came out of that state, I'm going to do another like 10-minute meditation just to see if I can just calm this chattering of my mind a little bit more. And meditation, by the way, is not about getting rid of your thoughts. It's about just observing them because it calms the chatter. I don't know. You start to notice chatter in your brain. Your brain's constantly talking. That's you observing this other version of you. Like it's not you. It's a version of you. So anyway, I am sitting here and wanted to kind of share some of my journal musings. I'm going to go there with you. And then I'm going to also share with you a little bit about what I'm doing for my physicalness. Like, I know you guys like that. And I've never really liked talking about what I do physically other than the movement and the food I was eating. But you know what? I want to be your girlfriend. I want to share with you. And I actually love it when other women do this. So why not share with you? But anyway, I think we can all agree that there's a lot going on if we open our phones, if we turn on the news, if we look externally. And I've been really, really reflecting on I wrote down actually my journal, and you're welcome to do this because it brought a lot of peace to my heart. I wrote in my journal this morning, I said, outer world reflections, and then I drew a line underneath it. And then I wrote another segment of my journal. I wrote, what is directly in front of me? And put a line. And then I just started listing. So of course, outer world reflection is like stuff going on in Israel, stuff going on in Ukraine, stuff going on in Minnesota, stuff going on with the politicals, with our president, with the Epstein files, blah, 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 all the way down, like listed all of that. And which does not make you feel good. You feel like you're out of control. You feel like there's nothing you can do. You feel like the world is burning down. It's not a good feeling. But then I wrote down like all the things I see right in front of me now. And it was my dog sitting there next to me, fireplace going, sun just came up over the mountains. I can see the beautiful trees outside. I have a healthy daughter walking around the house getting ready for school. My other daughter, I can text her. I know she's good. I know where she is. I'm healthy. I've got this amazing husband. I was like reflecting. I have food in my fridge. I have clothes on my body. I have warmth when it's cold outside. I was just writing all the things that are present in front of me. And it just is the polarity of life. And my goal right now is to really stay in the present. What is in front of me now? And that's been what I've been doing. And I found a ton of relief in doing that. Really turning up the light within myself. You see, we're all born with light. We all have light within us. We're born with it. But what can happen when we start to focus on what we want to label as dark or hard things, we dim that light because now we're focusing on the dark. We're focusing on things that don't feel peaceful, things that don't feel good to our system, to our nervous system, to our minds, to our hearts, even to our bodies, because they're all connected. And I stand by this phrase full heartedly: what you focus on expands. And if you focus on the light, focus on the things that are in front of you, focus on the beauty that is around you, go inward and see if we can turn up the light within ourselves. I believe that's the work right now. And how do I turn up the light inside of myself? What I just shared with you, journal practices like that, it gets me into deep gratitude, deep, deep gratitude. Walking out in nature, like really feeling the sun on your face, noticing the trees, touching the ground, touching trees, like getting grounded, moving your body. That also helps you get into your body, less in the head, more in the body. So these are some things that I do to turn up my light, serving other people. Like the person that's in front of you, like how do you show up to the waitress? How do you show up to the person driving next to you that instead of yelling at them, like show some compassion, like just seeing if you can be in your heart and serve from your heart those that are actually in front of you versus thinking about how do I serve someone that's 3,000 miles away from me and I don't even know how? Like that makes you feel like you aren't in control, that you have no impact. And the truth is, you do. You turning up the light within yourself, you turning and giving that light to someone that's in your sphere of influence, they are in front of you, is the act of love. That is your responsibility. That is your assignment. So I just wanted to reflect that. Of course, these are my musings. This is my message to myself. Take it or leave it, but that's what this diary series is about, is me sharing my musings in hopes that it helps you. Another big musings I had the other day was I want to have like an agreement with everyone. Okay, so there are times I turn on the news or more like social media, right? And I am so sick of hearing the word elite, like the elites, the ones that govern. I don't know, there's all these other phrases, but they all are referring to this group of so-called people that are above or have more control or that are elite, like this word elite. Like think of the word elite. Why are we saying the elite to a group of people that are harming other people? We need to stop using that word. Words actually matter. We need to have a new term: bottom dwellers, parasites. I don't know. These are some examples that came in my mind. But I think we need to have an agreement that we stop giving more power through our words to this group of people that we are now labeling certain terms. And I just think that we need to be very mindful of our words, the energy we're giving things, how much we're focusing on them. The other thing is I will never open these Epstein files. I don't need to. I don't need to. It's not like I'm trying to turn a blind eye. This is my opinion. I'm probably this is like maybe Trigger Train Tuesday for you or Trigger Train Thursday. I don't know what day you're listening to this. But for me, this is why. I've known about these. I've known about it. I've even known what people I go inward a lot and I do a lot of meditation. You know, I would say that people called me a conspiracy theorist. I don't know that about that term. I think also I would take, now that I know where that word comes from, the deep rooted term of where that word comes from. If you do the deep history of it, I'd be like, yes, I am. And I'm very proud of it. But anyway, I just think about like, I've already known I don't need, because my brain can't go into that realm, nor do I want it to. I don't need to sit and read and digest the horrific things that were going on to children. Like, I don't want to ingest that into my psyche. I can know that it's not good. I can know it's not of the light. I can know those things, and awareness is key, but I don't need to ingest it. It's like watching a really dark movie. I don't watch dark movies. I don't watch horror movies. And the reason is because I don't want that in my psyche. I was born with light. You were born with light. What you choose to ingest, what you choose to see, hear, read is completely up to us. But I promise you, and I promise myself, that when we ingest dark, we ingest horror, we ingest things that our psyche doesn't even naturally go to, we are then now looping up with it. We're linking up with it. We can know about the dark, we can know about a horror story, we can know that this stuff goes on, but we don't need to know these details. We don't need to bring that into our psyche. That's focusing on dark. So what you focus on expands. I want to focus on the light. I want to focus on where people are giving to other people. I want to focus on where people are just showing up when it's hard and they're overcoming obstacles in their lives. I want to focus on where I've done that. I want to focus on the beauty that's right in front of my eyes. I want to focus on turning up the light within myself, going into meditation. I want to focus on all the beautiful humans out there that protect and love animals and nature and humans. I want to focus on that because I really believe that what you focus on expands. So that's what I'm doing is I'm focusing on what I want to see expanded in the world. Doesn't mean I'm spiritual bypassing. I'm aware. Awareness or spiritual bypassing is saying that doesn't exist. I know it exists. I don't need to let myself be entangled with it. I don't need to. And I'm really believing that as a human, we are really getting the opportunity to govern and choose what we want to partake in. Once again, what we watch, the company we keep, and the conversations we're going to have, the words we're going to speak, what we're going to read, what we're going to bring into our internal landscape. That is completely up to us. Because I guarantee what you witnessing in front of you is actually quite beautiful. Because you wouldn't be listening to this show, the Danette May Show. I know you're full of light. I know that you have love in your heart. I know that when you open your eyes and you look around yourself right now, it's pretty dang beautiful. And even when we go through difficult times, because we will go through challenging times, they'll feel maybe grittier or harder. That is natural. That is necessary for growth. We need a little tension to grow. Just like if you're growing your muscles, you need some tension. You need some like strain, even little micro tears to grow your muscles. It's the same with like a snake shedding its skin. It needs some resistance. It needs some like rubbing up against a hard abrasion rock or tree or bark. We need a little resistance to emerge into the highest growth of ourselves. So I don't look at that as bad. I look at it as a challenge, an opportunity. There is a saying that what is it called? That not the pain is the way, but that the hard, is the way at times. There's flow, and then there's also friction or tension, which is absolutely necessary in all aspects of growth of life, that ebb and flow. But the darkness, you get to decide what you focus on. You get to decide what you consume. You get to decide what energy you're going to give out into the world. What are you going to give attention to? So I am really, really reflecting on this, really working on staying as much in the light as I possibly can and holding that frequency and giving it out to whoever I can when I am out and about. And that's why I'm also doing the diary series. I want to give you that light. You already have the light in you. It's not outside of you. It's in you. You were born with this tremendous light. Just turn it up a notch. Let it emanate throughout your whole body. You're so worthy of this. All right. Now I want to share with you what I've been doing. So when I was younger, in my teens, kind of into my 20s, and then also in my 30s, which I think was from emotion, a lot of stress. So in my teens, I had some acne. Then in my early 20s, it really kind of flared up. And I remember just being kind of self conscious because I was like, I feel like I'm doing all the right things. I know better now. I probably wasn't eating very well back in my early 20s. I wasn't eating non inflammatory foods. I was probably eating quite inflammatory foods. But nonetheless, I had some acne. I obviously picked at that acne and I have some acne scarring. Then I got into my 30s. I was going through the loss of my son, a horrific divorce, all this guilt and shame, which guilt, by the way, is associated with acne. So I was so embarrassed because I was this fitness professional and it looked like I went in secret and ate a box of donuts in private, but I was eating really clean by this point. So I was like, what is this on my face? And it wasn't that I took anything. I didn't take any serums or pills or anything like that. I actually worked on my psyche around guilt. I was carrying tremendous guilt in my life. I grew up with guilt. Guilt was infused in my upbringing. I had guilt around religion, guilt if I didn't pray, guilt if I didn't do everything perfect as the religion specified, guilt if I said something wrong or hurt someone. It was like people pleasing on overdrive. Plus, I was like afraid that if I messed up in my religion, then I wasn't going to go to the kingdom of heaven. Like guilt was infused in my system. But now I'm here in my 30s. I have the loss of my son. I feel like I'm living a lie in my marriage. I'm wanting to dismantle this marriage. I'm questioning my religion upbringing. And I was riddled with guilt, riddled with guilt. And it wasn't because I actually was guilty, it was because that was what I was taught and shown. And so I had acne all over my face. So it was when I got a hold of the book. By the way, I highly recommend this book, Feelings Buried Alive Never Die. This book was given to me by a friend, and then I looked up acne and the meaning behind it, and I realized, yes, it was guilt. And I started doing this phrase to clear out guilt through my system, and my acne started clearing up. No joke. I was like, whoa, the power of the mind, the power of the psyche, and these hidden emotions really do impact the body. And I also, when I had Hap, my son, and he passed away, when I was grieving, we decided because my oldest daughter was grieving, she was like 4 at the time, and we decided because I was grieving, I had just had this baby that I didn't bring home, that we were gonna do this Mexico trip and swim with dolphins. It was like this cheap trip that we were kinda given, and I found out about this. I don't know if anyone's ever heard this, but I obviously went on this trip. There was a ton of sun. I was in deep mourning, deep sadness, and I was exposed to a lot of sun, and I came back from that trip with insane amount of melasma. It almost was as if I had a whole mask because I was wearing sunglasses. I wore sunscreen, but I was wearing sunglasses, and it created like a mask around my whole face. I remember being like, "Oh my gosh, how did this get here? What's going on?" And I went to this dermatologist, this esthetician, because I was like, "What is this brown stuff all over my face?" And she was like, "What's going on in your life?" And I told her I had lost my son probably like 3 weeks prior by the time I had visited her, but I went on that trip like a week after his passing just to kinda get away as a family and help my daughter, honestly, give her, like, a chance to, like, not be in the grief, like, we were just pretending we weren't grieving, basically. Might have been 2 weeks after his passing, I can't remember, honestly, it's all a blur. And I got this huge melasma, and she said that melasma can get amplified from the pain that we're holding on to. She's like, "There's no doubt that the pain of the loss of your son has stirred up this melasma, and then the sun activated it." I was like, "What? This is possible?" And she's like, "Yes." And so anyway, that led me on a series of doing lasers. Like, I was trying to remove this, like, basically, it felt like a morning mark. Never heard anyone say that. I'm gonna coin that one, a morning mark. Was like my face was showing my pain. I wish I had a photo to show you guys. It was like I lived in a blur during that time, but it was so thick and so prominent like a mask on my face. Like, my eyes were the only thing clear, and then just a dark patch around my whole forehead, around my cheeks, the side of my face. And that has been kind of on my face ever since. I've gotten rid of a lot of it, but if I'm barefaced, you'll notice still some remnants of melasma. And I've just kind of been like, that's my lot in life. That's fine. I'm never going to not be in the sun. I'm an adventurous soul. I love to surf. I love to run in the sun. I love just being outdoors. So I wear sunscreen and all that, but I just noticed that it hasn't gone away. And I've tried different things, things that are actually not natural, and it never really fully went away. But I haven't done lasers since probably like 17 years ago, back when I was doing those just to clear most of it, which did help. But then there were people that were using lasers that were activating the melasma. And I was like, I don't want any part of this. I got rid of a lot of it. I'm just going to not do any more lasers. But I've been recently feeling like I really want to really clear up this acne and some of this melasma and really love my skin. Like, I do love my skin, but I really want it. I know that there's new technology out. I just needed to find somebody I could trust to like handle my skin. Because I'd gone to some other people intermittently over the past like 8 years that I was like, I don't know if I really trust you. So then I just pulled back. Well, there was this girl named Leah who reached out to me. I met her husband, and she runs a med spa here in Denver. And I was like, wow. She's like, just come in for a consult. Went in for a consult, really, really liked her. Could feel that she was super educated, super passionate about helping people, and in particularly me. And that made me feel so good inside. Like, I was like, this is finally the time. So I'm gonna list her information below. She has clients that drive hour and a half, 2 hours just to see her because you don't have to go like every day, right? So you wanna go to the best when it comes to your face because your face is always exposed. I feel that strongly. Like, you don't wanna just go to anyone when it comes to your face, your skin in general, in my opinion. So I could tell her and I were quite aligned, and I'm gonna do a system with her, and I'm gonna take you along for the journey. We did before pictures, we'll do after pictures. We started off with just a regular cleansing facial, a jelly mask, and then my next treatment is going to be this peel, and I think it's a glutathione type peel. Pretty aggressive, peels for about a week. I don't need to take any medication or anything, but it's gonna help with the melasma, it's gonna help clear, and then we're gonna just kinda laser some of the darker spots, and it will help with my acne, and we're gonna do this plan for the next, I think, 3 months, and then I'll just kinda stay with maintenance. But She feels excited about it. I'm excited about it. I got on her skincare program called SkinBetter. I'm going to link her website below. She said that she will give you $50 off your first treatment. If you're also looking for someone you want to trust, I'm going to link her website. It's called Do Skin in Denver. And her name is Leah, and her partner in her place is called named Gabby, and they're going to give you $50 off. And if someone else comes underneath you, you're going to get $25 off your next service. So it's an amazing referral program. But I wanted to share that about you. If you don't live in this area, if you really want to do this journey, find someone you really care about and that you can trust. And then also, honestly, don't put too much of your worthiness in your face. Honestly, I am fine showing up with my face as it is. I love my face. I love my body. I love my life. I love all these things about myself. I'm just fine tuning. It's like getting braces. It's like, yeah, I would love to, straighten out these teeth just because it makes me feel a little bit more confident. Yes, I want to buy that new outfit. It'll make me feel just a little bit more confident. Yes, I'm going to buy the better food because it's going to make me feel like there's these things that we do, and I think there's nothing wrong with that if it's your thing. But that's what I'm going to be doing. And I'm going to take you on this skincare journey just in case it helps you. I know she's helped a lot of people with acne. My daughter's experiencing acne similar to I did in high school. And I kind of want to get my daughter into understanding it, but I do know that kids don't really want to listen. They're going to watch you. So I'm going to show her what I'm doing and see if she wants to take suit because I think kids are like, I got to do Accutane. I have to do birth control pills. I have to do these things to get rid of acne. No one wants to walk around with acne. I get it. I don't know if she's really carrying guilt. I think sometimes a lot of it can be hormonal. But yeah, I know that if you can find a really good esthetician, they can also help with acne as well. And just, if you have rosacea, which by the way, if you do my 30-day challenge, my nutrition program, it has cured a lot of people of rosacea and a lot of skin issues that people have because skin starts within the gut, skin starts within the blood. And then what is reflected on the skin is usually a representation of what's going on in the blood and the gut barrier. So you want to start there first, always. Your nutrition, non-inflammatory foods, movement, flushing out the oxygen in your blood by moving and sweating and doing maybe some red light if you can, but also a really good esthetician will have a red light for you, a type of light that helps with inflammation on the skin. So anyway, hopefully this is helpful for you. This is a longer diary series than I planned on, but I do love you so much. And I'm so grateful that you're listening and following along. I'm dropping an episode every single day. We started on the 17th of February, and every day for a week, I'm dropping a diary series for you. My hope and my intention is that you feel less alone in your musings and your opinions. These are only my opinions. These are the things that I'm doing. I'm being very vulnerable for a week. Like I said yesterday on my first episode, if you haven't listened to it, we'll link it below. You always want to start with the first, right? Is that I'm also trying to get out of my own dang way. I am still fighting this people pleaser part of me. There's a lot I want to say. There's a lot I want to express, but I hold back a lot because I don't want to offend anyone. I don't want to be wrong. I don't want to hurt anyone. I don't want to trigger anyone. But I just recognize I will trigger some of you. Probably even with this Epstein stuff, I probably triggered you. I don't want to be a place to talk about politics. I don't believe I am the right person to talk about politics, so I will never talk politics. I am not someone who studies both sides of the coins of politics. So therefore, I just know what I feel about certain situations. And I go off that because I built up a relationship with my intuition so deeply. But you know how like people will go to people that don't have any financial advice? Like, oh, they're like don't have any financial savviness, like they're actually poor, or they don't really have like this thriving business that they can prove they've done for 10 plus years, but they want to give out financial advice. Same with relationships. They're like, let me tell you what you should do with your husband, and they don't have a great relationship. That's how I feel about politics and political things. Like you I should not be speaking on it. It's not my expertise, nor will it ever probably be. I'm gonna stay where I'm at. I do have expertise in building a business, and I do have expertise in relationships, and I do have expertise in coaching mindset, working with your mind, your nervous system, foods, movement. Those are my expertise. I'm gonna stay right there. All right. I love you guys. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. I love you and I mean it. And I'll see you on the next episode.